hiding from the cops in this planetary whatchamacallit, right? James Dean's talking to him and gives him his jacket and talks him into coming out. Well, the cops open up and blam, man, the kid's dead right on the gravel. It's serious stuff. Last night was the 8th time I saw it.
You get your entire education in the balcony of the Bijou, Bets?
Just the important parts. Anyway, Rebel's got a lot of things going for it, you know. Natalie Wood to name two. Isn't it about 5 clear? I mean, these guys aren't going to show.
Pull up the slack, kid.
How's the frost in the pumpkin, Eddie? I mean, I didn't recognize where your pants at.
Let's just get this over with quick, okay?
Life is too short to rush the golden moments, Romeo.
What about the rest of the pictures and the negatives?
Money first. Come on, come on. All right, stand back.
Money's there.
All right, get back.
It's all there.
It's all right,
all right.
Stand back.
Money's there, okay? The money's all there.
You stand back.
Negatives and the pictures.
Pleasure doing business with you.
What's he doing?
I can't tell, man.
Let him go, Eddie. Stick to the plan.
Get out, come on!
Stop them. You were going to stop them and make them hand over the negatives.
Look, we would have had him if you hadn't queered the drop.
You going to let him talk to me like that, huh?
Stop him as soon as he says something I disagree with.
Hey, I was ready to go through with it. On my mother's grave, I was ready to go through with it. But when he opened up that case, and I saw all that money in the moonlight, I mean, you know what it takes for a guy like me to get that kind of cash? I'm a 10%er, Cleary. A working stiff agent whose wife was going to kill him without even an explanation with these pictures because they're I mean, they're tricks, fakes.
Look real enough to me. You do admit to having drinks with a girl.
So? I mean, you never bought a drink for a good-looking girl with nothing on your mind but a little conversation? Besides, her virtue was never in danger, I'll tell you that. What with my prostate trouble. It's the truth. Hand to God. I haven't been able to draw the mighty sword for 5 months, 15 days now. And then to lose that night and wake up with a hangover and get these pictures in the mail, you know, it's...
So you come up with any guesses about who'd want to blackmail you?
It says detective on the door outside. You tell me, huh?
I have come to break the chains of Rome. Do not mock me, mighty emperor, for I am but a simple girl from the olive field. I have no claim to these whiteness, this gown, these golden sandals. Nor do I think, am I capable of repaying you in the rough and barbaric manner you crave. Men, perhaps I should fear you, yet I do not fear you. Come, let us sit by the fountain. I will pluck my lute and tell you of my faith. Care for a fig?
Let me guess. Tammy and the Gladiator, Paramount.
You know, I don't mind you showing up early. It is your office. But a woman's artistic moments are usually considered sacred. This sort of eavesdropping goes on all the time in Russia, if you get my meaning. And it's passion of Rome. Fox.
You know, this whole place is just getting way too colorful for me. Now, what are you going to do about the negatives?
Working on tracing the photographic paper. Meanwhile, I got the bartender at the club keeping an eye out for your girlfriend.
She's not my girlfriend. I'd almost pay the 10 G's if she was. Like I said, it's glandular. I couldn't work up a head of steam if you dangled Mamie Van Doren in front of me on a stick, all right? Wonder my wife's out looking to dance with somebody else, huh? Find anything about this guy she's been seeing?
Eddie. Like you're imagining things. We're looking into.
I'm, counting on you, Cleary.
Think he's being straight about these?
What difference does it make? Blackmail's still against the law. Why'd you go through that list of photo labs and places using this kind of paper?
Well, I'm kind of upset about Eddie's bum glands. I think I ought to just put my feet up, slap a cold cloth in my head till I calm down. I'll just go suck on a neon in my car. Later, Cleo.
Et tu, Brutus. Got part of that stuff you wanted on Mrs. Saperstein. List of collect calls, third number charges. And here's the breakdown on her personal checking account from the bank. Mostly businesses, beauty parlor, dress shop, stuff like that. But there are some written to an individual, and that individual is a man.
Thomas A. McGinnis.
No, you listen. I'm dropping the whole thing. Yeah, I know it's a lot of money, but it's a lot of bad news, too, so we're finished. You get that?
Hello, Tom.
Moses on a pony, it's the young Cleary boy.
How are you?
Great. God, the last time I saw you, DiMaggio was on a streak and we still had badges. Sit down, will you? For crying out loud. How about a soda pop?
Sounds good. Hang out the shingle.
Oh, close to a year. Not much in this town for a booted-out ex-cop to do. You can be a bouncer at Ciro's, or a studio guard.
Or a private eye.
Yeah. I was sorry to hear about Nicky. I was gonna come to the wake, but then I figured there'd be a lot of uniforms with faces I don't like looking at. Feeling's probably mutual.
How's Joan?
Joan? Joan's doing fine. She's not married to me anymore, but she's doing fine. We split up after, you know. So what's the pitch? What brings you to this part of town?
You wouldn't happen to be keeping company with a certain Charlotte Saperstein of Santa Monica, would you?
Keeping company?
Yeah. Fill their solitary hours with conversation and affection. A couple of her checks were made out to you, and this number shows up in her phone log.
That's rich. Tommy McGinnis, cut-rate gigolo. You should be ashamed of yourself, John Francis, thinking thoughts like that about the man who wet-nursed you through your first street tour. She's a client, you idiot. I'm tailing her husband. She thinks he's cheating on her.
That's funny. We're working for two sides of the same coin. The husband's my client.
He wants to know if she's getting some on the sly. What a marriage, what a town.
It's a bit more complicated than that. Can I ask for some professional courtesy?
The thing is mine, it's yours.
Has Eddie Saperstein been a good little boy?
Well, he's not exactly Orange County School Board material, but he's clean as far as I can see, especially for a Hollywood agent. He bends the elbow now and then, and he loves those ladies with the cantilever charms, but it's all look and no touch. I tell you, I lost him for a couple of hours one night about a week ago. I don't know, I must be slowing down or something, but I don't imagine he was up to anything that would put his wife on a plane to Reno.
It's too bad you lost him. Might have been interesting. Somebody's tried to set the guy up for a little blackmail.
No kidding? Who?
How about the wife? Is she the type?
To blackmail her hubby? No. I don't read her that way.
Well, it's good enough for me.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. Yeah, it impresses the clients, gives them confidence in my abilities.
It ought to.
Just a piece of ribbon and some brass, you know that as well as I do.
Well, ask him.
Well, don't think I won't. Do you think this is good enough?
Good enough for what?
To send to Columbia Pictures? Harry Cohn is looking for the next Kim Novak.
I'll take the old one if he's finished with her.
Oh, what do you know anyway?
I look more like Kim Novak than she does. Haven't we met before?
Nope, don't think so.
Are you sure?
I guess I just got one of those faces, you know.
Yes, you certainly do. So, how may I help you on this unremittingly sunny morning? Well, doesn't this have a certain gritty Police Gazette charm to it?
I need to know where and when.
Hmm?
You use this paper, I want to know if you printed the picture. What are you doing, man?
It seems strangely familiar to me. I dimly recall it, but it's like looking through a mist. It's a very thick mist.
Well, maybe it'll burn off.
Maybe it won't.
Maybe it'll cloud up worse and there'll be a tornado, huh?
Let's not get hormonal. Ah, yes. We do have a client that takes this sort of intimate art study. Name's Vinny.
Vinny what?
We only need one name on the pickup slip.
What does he look like?
Thin, intense, bad color judgment, sort of moody. He was very unhappy with his last role. Got all steamed up about how it wasn't any good and how they'd have to shoot it all over again.
You remember when the last batch came through?
You want an awful lot for your $10, don't you?
I'm fighting inflation.
You're heartless, and you said you'd be heartless through all it eternity. You once said you were mine alone, but you were fooling me. For I love you, but you were on a spree. Your heartless. Why, oh, why, oh, why? Heartless. Did you have to lie? You said that you love only me. Now you change your mind. There is nothing else for me to say except
Good work.
That's swell. I'll be there. No, thank you. Okay. All right, bye. Oh, excuse me. It's all yours.
Want to talk, but not on the phone.
Oh?
My name's Jack Clary. Can I buy you a drink?
Well, that's very nice, Jack Clary, but at the moment I'm not thirsty.
We can sit down and chat until you get thirsty.
Maybe some other night now.
I'll give you regards to Eddie Saperston.
I don't know who would do something like this. Eddie seemed like a nice guy for an agent. He bought a couple rounds, started telling me about his glandular condition, which is a new line on me.
Do you have any idea who might have taken these? Somebody you work for, perhaps?
I guess you're used to dealing with a certain kind of person, right? A certain type of woman. Not everyone's trying to run a game on you. It may feel that way sometimes, but there are some of us who are on the level.
Miss Clayton? I'm sorry.
Look, I'd like to get out of this place. This little revelation sort of knocked the wind out of me.
You remember anything else? Give me a call.
Thanks, Jack Clary. One more thing. I'm trying to get an acting career going in this burg. A real one. So Eddie's not the only one that wants to see these pictures deep-sixed.
I'll keep that in mind.
how strange kind of chemical change goes rushing through me.
So what do you got?
Well, I found out where our pals in the Clipper do business. Got a sample of their handiwork. That's the end of a roll they dropped at the lab. This guy at the camera store, he says this Vinny is unhappy with the rest of the roll, so he's gonna reshoot it.
This is the guy with the Yul Brenner haircut.
Picture didn't come with a caption, but I like to call it Tangled Sheets and Broken Hearts.
This guy's next in line for a shakedown. Check out the motel.
Isn't a complimentary postcard, Claire. I mean, address isn't posted on the back.
No, it's posted on the front.
That's solid. Samo Hotel. That's great, Clary.
No, you're not a Harvard man, Betts, but I always assumed somewhere along the line you picked up a little thing called the alphabet.
Yeah, like he went to Yale or something. Love is all around. Big fat moon in the sky, perfume on the breeze, and me. Nothing to hold on to but memories.
young lovers, wherever you are. Miss Betty Clayton's one popular girl. She shows up in more motel rooms than Gideon's Bible. Back to that photo shop. The shutterbugs are still in business. They're gonna be back there.
Down the line, C-Man.
I used to go with the guy who's the voice of Ready Kilowatt.
This is one of those conversations you started at your desk before you came in here, isn't it?
He's on the board at the Screen Extras Guild, and he owes me a couple of favors. So here's the address of Betty Clayton, alleged actress.
Nice going, Dottie. Wouldn't trade your stable of boyfriends for J. Edgar Hoover himself.
You know, all I'm really looking for is a sweet, dependable guy pulling down 11 grand a year at Hughes Aircraft. And if I can't have that, I'll settle for a weekend in Palm Springs with Victor Mature.
Call Tom McGinnis, will you? Tell him if we're still on for lunch, we'll grab a sandwich at the Crescendo.
Bloodsuckers call me. On my private phone, they call me. I mean, they're really bent over about the other night. They want the money. They want the money.
Morning, Mr. Saperstein.
What? Right.
Same voice as last time?
No, this time it was the kid. You know, that Benny popper from the other night. See, I'm supposed to be at my office with the money at 7 o'clock, and then they'll call me and tell me where to go with the cash.
Meet you at your office around 6:30. We'll take that call together.
Do you think 3D will succeed in luring the American public out of the living room, or are they happy with flat entertainment as long as it's free?
You're not a cop. I don't have to talk to you.
If the cops get involved, you're gonna wish you talked to me. You're in with some very unhealthy types. I'm offering you a chance to walk away with some self-respect.
Thanks.
They're using you. Your legs, your face, and what's between, and they'll toss you when they're done.
Using people is what this town is all about. Or don't you read the papers? Look, I can take care of myself. I always have. I'll tell you something else. Being used is a whole lot better than being ignored.
Those aren't the only choices on the menu, lady.
That boat of yours is hugging a red curb. Think you better move it before you get a ticket.
From the academy, and you're standing there, frozen solid, like an ornamental lawn jacket.
I don't know what scared me more, the housebreaker or what you'd do to me if I messed up.
You didn't mess up. You did fine. You made a good cop.
Had a good teacher.
Yeah, right.
I learned more sitting next to you in a black and white in 6 months than most guys learn in 6 years.
And look at us now. One false move, one unanswered question, and they forget about all the things you've done and chuck you out. For the good of the force.
I don't know. Wonder if I would have stayed a cop even if things had gone different.
At least you got a chance to clear yourself.
Either way, you gotta live with it. Sometimes a one-way street, there's no going back. You'll crack up the grill work if you're always looking in the rearview mirror.
I walked 2 blocks north, 1 block east, then I heard the alarm. There were 2 of them. I saw them come out of the back of the 5 and dime. I saw the muzzle flashed 3 times, then I returned fire. One of them went down, the other one threw his hands up. The suspect I killed was 15 years old, and they couldn't find his gun. The one left alive said that I just opened fire and they were unarmed. My word against his, but they never found the gun or the slugs. Everybody felt sorry for me. Lots of tough break Tommy, lots of sympathy. But walking out of that squad room for the last time, my stuff in a cardboard box under my arm, I could see the doubt in their eyes. Here's where 12 years of being a police officer ended. Not much of a monument, is it?
What do you think the other kid did with the gun?
I've been putting myself to sleep with that question every night for the past 4 years.
Tom, gotta go.
Oh, yeah, sure, Jack. I understand.
Ah, it's business. Our friend Eddie Saperstein.
What about him?
I told you, somebody's trying to shake him down. They're calling him to set up the payoff.
Are they now? You mind if I tag along? I mean, I kind of feel responsible, you know, if I hadn't lost him that night.
Tom McGinnis riding shotgun for me? I think I can live with that.
Betts. Cleary. What are you doing here?
Eddie Saperstein has an office in this building. What are you doing here?
I tailed our friend Vinny over here.
Looks like you're our one client, Jack.
Blood on the back stairs and the pavement outside.
How much?
Not enough to change it from abduction to homicide. Where's your faithful Indian companion?
Betts? He's split. Large groups of men wearing hats make him nervous.
Tom McGinnis.
You say that like his middle name was Lazarus.
A bad couple of years. Thrown off the force after he shot that unarmed kid. And his wife leaving him. Last I heard, he was in Mexico trying to beat himself to death with a bottle of tequila.
Do something for me, Charlie. I want to look at everything Internal Affairs has on Tom and what happened in that alley 4 years ago.
Jack, I know Tom McGinnis was the first guy you ever rode with. And there might be a kind of family resemblance between what happened to him and what happened to you. But it's not a carbon copy.
You think he lied about that kid having a gun?
If you believed him, why'd you wait so long to do something about it?
Maybe I was too busy listening to what other people believed. Maybe 4 years ago, I didn't know what it felt like to be accused of something you didn't do.
I'll see what I can do.
Three of us in a room together. I figured the next time that happened, one of us would be laid out in a blue serge suit and cardboard shoes.
Looks like we're all still upright, Tommy.
I better get out of the way.
Tom?
Nah, Jack, I'm sorry. Hey, I should have left with bets. I give these guys the willies, you know, like the ghost of Christmas past. If you need me for anything, just give me a ring.
Consider yourself wrong. This Joker's next on our blackmail hit parade. Nice shot of the license plate, don't you think? Not a guy like you could finesse the name and address out of DMV with one arm tied behind your back.
How come you want me in on this?
The cop I know got me into a real bad habit. I only work with the best.
I'll give you a ring when I've got something.
What happened to the kid McGinnis didn't shoot? The one who said they didn't have a gun?
Dead 2 years ago. Stick up at a jewelry store in Glendale. Handful of watches in one hand, 38 in the other when they took him down.
Did a pretty good job looking for that gun.
They did such a good job, how come they didn't find it?
Maybe because there wasn't one to find. Cops went all over that alley. Every garbage can, every drain pipe, every basement with a window somebody could have tossed a piece through. Total void. No gun, nothing.
Officer-related shooting. I was there for this one. Bank robbery with a hostage. Tom took a 45 in the leg. I still see him going up that fire escape, pulling himself along the railing. Got the guy. Saved the teller he took for insurance. McGinnis got another medal. A guy like that doesn't start lying to cover himself. He just doesn't. The other kid threw his hands up. How tall was the building in that alley?
2 stories. About 25 feet.
Yeah.
Tom McGinnis on 1.
Hey, Tom.
I'm not busting in on you comforting some starlet, am I?
Never make those appointments till after lunch. Too taxing.
I found your bald-headed DeSoto owner, Werner Breslow. Glendower Avenue up in the hills. You want me to run up there and put a tail on him?
No. Sit tight. Sending bets over to keep you company. Yeah. Thanks, Tom. Won't be long. I gotta check something.
Betty Clayton.
Miss Clayton?
I just heard about Eddie Saperstein disappearing.
Yeah?
They've changed the rules on me. If you've still got some questions, I've got a couple spare answers.
I'll be right there.
Okay.
Jack was there, so I didn't want to embarrass myself. That's all it takes to be a hero, kid. Somebody watching you.
Hey, Cleary. Where's your boss, dollface?
Mr. Cleary requested that I receive your report and inform him of your day's activities.
Well, you can inform him that we just wasted a whole lot of Ethel. We followed this guy all over town, house in the hills, his office, the bank, some payphone at a soda shop. And he got a call and went home. Can you remember all that?
Sounds to me like this guy Benny spotted your tail.
Me? Phantom of the Opera? No way.
Cleary Agency, Dottie speaking. It's for you.
Yeah, talk to me.
Hello, chump. How's it frosting the pumpkins? You know, a blind Girl Scout could spot you tailing her in that street ride. So I called her off for a day. I sent Chrome Dome home without his pictures.
Listen up, you grease stain.
No, you listen. Now, I don't like it when people think I'm stupid. Now, if you had two brains to rub together, you'd worry less about my business and more about your boss.
I was plan B. The guy wasn't cheating on his wife. After a week of following him around, I got a call.
Case of fidelity, break glass, and out steps Betty. Where's Eddie Sapper's team?
I don't know.
You said you had answers.
Not all of them.
Okay, then let's start with something simple. Who is they?
A loose cannon by the name of Vinny Muzak. He took the pictures. If somebody had second thoughts about paying, he'd stand around and look dangerous.
Creeps like that don't have the patience for this sort of scam.
The other guy thought it out. Found the marks, made it work.
Fill in the blank. What's the name of the other guy?
Loopy, how'd you get back inside?
I hope this doesn't come as a surprise, but you are one sick bastard.
Oh, now, you see, saying that after the good time I set up for you, well, now don't tell me you forgot. Well, I see, that's no problem. Open the night table drawer. Right next to you. They're the latest thing. Instant pictures. It's going to totally revolutionize my particular industry. And you can keep those, by the way. I got plenty more.
Your mind's slipping, Vinny. You can't blackmail me with these. I don't have a wife, and everybody knows I'm no choir boy. With my reputation, those won't get me kicked out of the Book of the Month Club.
Oh, that's right. Oh, stupid me. I forgot. You haven't had a chance to look in the living room. Well, go catch yourself a thrill.
Corner's on the wire for you. Okay. What's the ETA? Doesn't belong in that bar? Yeah, that all of them. Any glass?
We're gonna have to hang on to your gun, Jack. It's a murder weapon now.
Yeah.
Hey, you should be grateful for nosy neighbors. Lady next door saw somebody fitting your description of this guy, Vinny. Saw him leave and take off in a Packard Clipper. She missed the plates.
You ever heard of this Vinny Muzak?
No, but that don't mean anything.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get back.
Every year there's a whole other crop of wise guys and punks. Fall out of the trees like oranges. Listen, why don't you get the hell out of here and get some sleep? Hey, did you look at that file on Tom McGinnis?
Yeah?
Find what you wanted?
That depends on what I wanted, doesn't it? I want you to go back to the office. Somewhere in there is Vinny Muzak. You and Daddy are gonna find him.
Guess the cops got so much evidence that they asked you to take some with you, huh?
I had a few minutes on my hand before the troops rolled in. I didn't want it to go to waste. Where's Tom?
He's renting.
I'll tell SID team.
Tom, he was right here. Cleary, where you going, man?
Out to that house on Glendower. The bald guy's got 10 grand in cash Vinny hasn't collected on yet.
We'll file a report when we get back to Metro.
You always were 2 steps ahead of me.
I thought the little greaseball might try the same gag he used to nail Eddie.
Why didn't you tell somebody?
Don't worry, Jack. You didn't miss the party.
Wish you brought your camera, Vinny. I'd love to get a picture of this.
You got something a little more permanent than pictures. Shut it.
Big shot.
I was about 2 months out of the academy having a beer with a few guys, and they asked me who I was partnered up with. When I told them Tom McGinnis, they looked at me like I just made the starting lineup for the New York Yankees. We really looked up to you, Tom.
It's a hell of a time to be getting sentimental, Jack. Come on. Let's call it in.
Is there something you want to tell me?
Yeah. The bar's closing in an hour, and I could use a drink.
Talk to me.
What is it, Jack?
I found these in the car.
I'm sorry you had to get mixed up in this, Jack. At the pickup when Eddie called your name, it was like somebody walking on my grave. It wasn't supposed to be any real big deal. It never was before.
You were working both sides of the coin. Some wife hires you to get the dirt on her husband, and when you find it, you get more money from him not to blow the whistle. And if the mark's clean, no problem. You had Betty Clayton to supply the adultery. Why, Tom?
Like I said, Jack, I'm sorry you had to walk into this. I told Vinny we were blowing off on Saperstein, letting him off the hook, but Vinny didn't listen. He went into business for himself. I came here to close the books on him.
Damn it, Tom, you had no right. I believed in you.
I used to believe in myself.
You didn't get slapped down any harder than me. What happened?
Everybody bounces back. They just don't all bounce back in the same direction.
So now what?
Good question.
I gotta know. The thing that started you pointing in this direction. The kid back in the alley. Were you telling the truth?
It's funny. I figured you to be the one man who'd never ask.
I'm asking now.
What difference does it make?
Didn't believe you'd find something up here, did you?
They were down there. Tom said the kid threw his hands up. He might have been throwing a gun. A lightweight .22. Could come up this high.
Face it, Cleary. I mean, he went bad.
You don't understand, Betts. The guy Charlie Fontana cuffed and put in the back of that car wasn't the Tom McGinnis I knew. Maybe he just wasn't the Tom McGinnis you remembered. I admired that guy. He got knocked around the same as I did. No tough. Who decided he should come up crooked and not me? It's cold, man. There's nothing up here. How about some coffee? I'm buying. Yeah, I guess so. Mornings like this, guys like that, you wonder if the sun's gonna make it. You can always count on the sunrise. Print the time in the paper every morning. It's just a pigeon, man. What are you doing, man? Three shots gone. He was telling the truth. It all happened just like he said. Better give this to Fontana. You think it'll make a difference?
It will to me.
Thomas fights to beat the odds when he plays a dangerous game of life and death during Magnum and Jeopardy week starting Monday at 4. Now stay tuned as Mort Krim and Carmen Harlan bring you the latest news for the metro area on the News 4 Night Beat, followed by The Tonight Show with comedian Stephen Wright, coming up on Channel 4.